And we are coming in live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. My name's Jeremy. This is Awakened Reality, and hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day you happen to catch this. If you're coming in live, or if you're watching it in video format later, so glad to have you join us. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you share it however you want on any platform. We've got a great show for you today. It is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020, just roughly 7:34 p.m. here on the East Coast. And we'll give a moment to see if anyone's going to jump in live with us to begin the show. And glad to have you with us. Glad to have you with us. Let me pull everything up here on my phone here. I did get a boo-boo from you know who here just a few minutes ago. But that's all right. That's all right. And hopefully the audio's doing better this time around. Aloha, Wen. Aloha. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate that. Ah. How's your day going? You have a good Wednesday so far? Yep. I just see your message in Discord. Yeah, I was a little. Like I said, it'll be between 7 and 9 when I go live. It won't be necessarily right at 7. So it just depends on when I get functioning over here. I had the last couple of streams I've been having issues with my headset, and then I did some updates on my computer last night, and then I had no sound today at all. So I was just messing around with that, trying to make sure. So let me know if everything's sounding nice and clear, and that you're not getting any of that that robot reverb sound that was coming in the last couple streams. And then I was trying to set up a little bit of the screen share to show you some clips, to show you guys some of the clips from this show, Loki, and what I'm talking about, what I'm seeing as I've been taking a peek at this show over the last, I think it's got 2 episodes out now, so it's been out for about 2 weeks. And of course, we'll take a peek at who Loki is, and we can go ahead and do that now. So for those who, and again, obviously Marvel, has twisted the character a little bit, but we're going to look at Norse mythology here. And Loki is, he's a trickster, he's a magician. He plays that role of good and bad. So he's got the Christ and the Antichrist. He's very much, that. I guess they call him. What do they call it? Anti-hero, but not a villain. There's a term for it in the comic books, but he's definitely someone who kind of walks the line, and deals with both sides of that yin and yang. He's a shapeshifter, very relevant to some of the conspiracy theorists out there, and like clones and shapeshifters, and there's references to a bunch of different things that we all have talked about. He is the father of hell, which is the queen of the underworld. So it's not necessarily like he's Satan or the king of the underworld, but he definitely has some connection to the underworld, which we see the underworld being exposed, or like hell on earth right now being exposed. The Matrix, this illusionary world. So it's got it's definitely got some winks at for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, as there's so much predictive programming and or foreshadowing or truth spilling, how however you want to look at it when it comes to entertainment, especially I keep telling people, especially the Marvel and the comic book world, as so many people are looking into things like manifesting superpowers and tapping into their higher self and their supernatural side. Like I've talked about the comic book and cosmic age. You just remove the S, put it on your chest. This is a different Superman shirt for anyone who was watching the other night. Not in the same clothes. It just happened to be the next shirt in the drawer to pull out. And I do have a lot of comic book shirts because again, it's the comic book age. It's the cosmic age. We live in that age. It is very the supernatural world is returning. DNA upgrades. Um, uh, by the way, I'm going to try and be very careful from now on. I'm not going to talk about the it anymore. I got a warning already yesterday, and one of the streams has already been pulled off of YouTube. And I don't want to lose everyone again. I don't want to go down that direction. We have our private platforms to talk about things. I'm just going to try and find a different direction and find different things to talk about while I'm streaming, because I'm at a do or die, make or break. I've got to figure out a way to start creating some revenue for myself without going back into a workforce or a slave system. So I'm gonna meditate on everything. I'm really gonna try and come up with presentations and shows that we could just talk about things that aren't going to be censored and shut down. Because I woke up this morning to already. Actually, I didn't even wake up. It was late last night. I got the notification that not yesterday's stream, but the stream before was pulled again for they're calling it the MI. Um, which is medical misinformation, or medical misinformation. And I'm not going to play that game again. I lost everyone, and I lost 1,000 followers, and I just don't have the wherewithal to deal with the BS. So I'm going to leave it to the doctors and the other reporting agencies to deal with that, and continue to connect with people on a different level to just try and help people through the process. Like I said, we can't wake up everyone, and I'm stepping away from the idea of trying to wake people up. I've always told people we can't wake people up. So that being said, hit that like button, guys. I hope you're in. Remember, if you're watching on a different platform, come over to YouTube if you want to engage in any of the chats, because that's where we'll be engaging from the chat. So the show Loki is, to me, it's really about self-discovery and awakening and and learning about the illusion of the matrix and what is real and what's not real, and like I said, self-discovery, the Great Awakening. It's very much a show about the Great Awakening. The main character Loki is becoming aware that he's not the only version of himself, that there's a multiverse, that there's multiple timelines, and he's being recruited to literally track down himself, another version of himself, and they even refer to him as like a superior self or an inferior self. So there's that going on. The idea of different levels of your consciousness, your conscious awareness, your capabilities, your supernatural abilities, the whole nine. So it's very relevant to what we're going on, are going through, what's going on in the world with the DNA upgrades and people getting more profoundly interested in spirituality, supernatural abilities, and just everything that goes with the comic book age. It has references to, let's see if I can pull it up here. Let's go to, okay. Well, anyway, so that's Loki, and it reminds me of the Magician, which here's some points about the Magician card and the tarot. He to me, he's a magic. He's someone who deals with magic. He is part of the magic there's pretty much, they say there's like magic, robots, and what is the other one? There's another third form of adversary or ally in the comic book realm right now. It's robots, magic, and I can't remember the other one right now. Monsters, maybe monsters, magicians, and robots. And he's definitely a magician. And keywords: determined, dexterity, resourceful, skilled, strong, powerful man, all Loki things. But the reverse card is really where it comes into communication blocks, uh, confusion, deceit, ill intentions, and lack of energy. Air, Mercury, the High Priestess is the next card. Uh, and Mercury is a messenger. Um, so it's very, very relevant to, again, we're all receiving messages right now from the higher realms, our higher consciousness, our higher self, spirit guides, whatever you feel you're tapping into. Um, it's got references to portals and doorways, and I keep talking about, like, we can't try, again, going back to, like, we can't try and wake everyone up, because there's going to be multiple different doorways and multiple different paths and timelines that people are going to eventually step into. And I think that's what what's going on in the world right now is with the things that are taking place from the controllers, architects, elites, whatever you want to call them, the stage handlers as I call them. They all are trying to keep you from going through these doorways, or to keep this timeline as the only timeline. They're trying to hold on to this timeline, which this show is all about, a sacred timeline, and it's controlled by reptilians, which we'll get into in a few moments. Yes, reptilians are space lizards, as they're called in this show, are very much talked about, which is hilarious. I mean, they just absolutely. Okay. Did I lose the stream? Hold on. I hope we're still live. Let me just double check here. We're having some issues. I think I'm being attacked. I think they're coming after me. Okay. So, anyway, this first clip we're going to get into is just another visual of doorways opening, stargates, portals, things like that.
Never mind. Don't touch that.
So, this is what I'm talking about. There's going to be a lot of doorways opening, okay, portals. And that's why we can't get caught up trying to bring people with us and forcing that, because they're going to have their own path. They're going to have their own direction. They're going to have their own doorways open up. And it's just one of those things where we can't fight the fact that there's going to be multiple outcomes. Okay, it's just I mean, everything that I see, everything, and I referenced the song by Pearl Jam, "Dance of the Clairvoyance," where he talks about multiple interpretations, multiple doorways, multiple possibilities that we can't be. We have to walk our own path. We have to go in our own direction from this point forward. Some people say it's manifesting your own reality, creating your own reality. I think it's all relevant for sure. Um, the next piece that I wanted to show you guys was about the aura, how they reference your aura, and I think it's a very, very telling clip. Let's see if I can find it here real quick for you. I think it was 7:31. This is a clip where he is talking. They're talking about the aura of beings that have a soul that are that are not that are organic, and we've heard Ralph Smart talk about the inorganic ones, the AI ones, if you will, the mechanical ones. So here they're referencing that as well.
Please confirm to your knowledge that you are not a fully robotic being. We're born an organic creature and do in fact possess what many cultures would call a soul.
What? To my knowledge? Do a lot of people not know if they're robots?
Thank you for your confirmation. Please move through.
What if I was a robot and I didn't know it?
The machine would melt you from the inside out. Please move along, sir.
Okay, I'm not a robot, so I'll be fine. What's that?
Your temporal aura.
What's that?
Please through the door.
Your temporal aura. Your temporal aura. And we talk about the importance of your aura and making sure that you are strengthening that bioelectromagnetic field around you. And those cameras exist. Those are real things. You can go get a picture of your aura. That is something that you can actually do today if you wanted to, or tomorrow for that matter. So it's just another reference to things that we have already been talking about here on this channel. And I just thought it was absolutely awesome that there was another reference to it, because I keep talking about the most important thing that you could be focusing on right now is your aura. It's much more than the physical world right now. You know, so many of my people in the EMCO and the catastrophe, you know, truth seekers, they're so caught up in like trying to figure out how to survive this in a physical way, and like, you know, I just, you know, I tell them, you know, work on getting healthy, work on getting, you know, in shape, and, you know, practicing your meditation and getting healthy, and everything will work out. The answers will come to you in the moment. If you're meant to be here, if you truly want to stay here in the earthly realm, and you want to survive, and you want to be a part of the reset, and you want to be part of, you know, living in steampunk land and post-apocalyptic worlds and all that, if that's what you want, then you'll get it, if that's what you truly want. But sitting around on your ass, you know, looking at YouTube video after YouTube video, and trying to figure out how to know when the time's going to come, you're just wasting time. You're just sitting around wasting time. You know, like, if you really want to prepare for that kind of stuff, then start learning how to actually do things. Stop sitting online worried about how many people can you find to be on your side, or how many people you can connect with, or this, that, and the other, based off of fear. You're just waiting for other people to lead you. You need to start leading yourself. You need to start preparing yourself if that's what you want to do. I'm not here for that. I plan on leaving. I plan on, bye, see ya. I don't care if it's death. I don't care if it's raptured out of my body. I don't have any desire to be here for a post-apocalyptic world, a steampunk world. I don't have any desire to play Let's Go Conquer the World all over again, or whatever. And this whole show is about, it talks about resetting the timelines, being able to reset timelines. They have abilities, little devices that they use to reset the timelines, and that's what we keep hearing about: the Great Reset, the Plasma Reset. You know, it's. I mean, they're throwing it all in your face all throughout this show, and but like I continue to say, there are many ways um, to escape this, or to leave this, and I don't believe backpacking through steampunk land is your only option. And if that's what you want to do, then stop talking about it. Stop being worried about it. Stop trying to fear other people into it. Go handle your business. Start learning how to build shelters, and start learning how to fast, and start learning how to, you know, live in that kind of world, and because you're creating that world for yourself. You're going to create that reality. That's going to be your reality. Okay. I'm so tired of these black pillars and these freaking out and trying to freak other people out about stuff. You're doing no good. You're just cycling fear. It's not doing anything. These end times and these eyes to see and ears to hear aren't for everyone. They're just not for everyone. Okay. If you have this information, maybe it's because you've been given this information so you don't have to go through that stuff. So you don't have to have more traumatic stress, and more karma in the next life. Like maybe you've been woken up to these things so you can start preparing in a different way. A way that is supernatural. That you don't have to go through these things. Because not everyone is going to the future, as Madonna said in her very ominous song and dance that she did at whatever award show. I can't remember what award show it was, but it was definitely there. Coming up right here in this scene, you're going to see Take a Tab. What does that remind you of? Take a tab? Take a tab? Rhymes with something. Not saying that's what it's about, but it just makes me think. Look at the eye on the wall. You got the eye on the wall. We watch everything. Behave. Very, very obviously, subliminal marketing right there, where they just putting it out there because remember Disney Plus is for kids, so there's your little eye symbolism. There's your behave, do as we tell you. I think that's very, very symbolic. Obviously, right in your face. It's right in your face. Let's see. What else does the show talk about? Variant. He's called the Variant, right? They call him the Variant. Well, that's a very popular word in the news right now, right? The Variant, because a lot of people would say we are the virus. That we are the virus, we are the threat. Those that are awakening, those that are becoming aware that they are more than their physical self, that they have more capabilities, that there's a supernatural side to them. So there's a lot of talk in the corners of our truth communities about us being the virus, right? We're the virus that they're so afraid of. Um, these space lizards, if you will. And that is something that's very real. They talk about it in the show. The space lizards. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, let's see this.
I mean, you'll catch up. So you're part of the TVA's courageous and dedicated workforce.
Yes.
You were created by the Timekeepers.
Yep.
To protect the sacred timeline.
Correct. Is that funny?
The idea that your little club decides the fate of trillions of people across all of existence at the behest of 3 space lizards, yes, it's funny.
3 space lizards. Oh. The Anunaki. I think there were 3 main Anunnaki characters talked about. Inky, Enlil, and Anu. Right? And they created, right? He said you were created by them, right? Well, some people think the Anunnaki created the human race. Interesting. And they control the fate of the sacred timeline, right? And right now in our world, seems like they're trying to do everything in their power to stop this transformation coming from within with your DNA, your mRNA. They're trying to stop that, right? And they're trying to hold on to this timeline of control that they have manifested, this matrix that has been crumbling around them. Just some thoughts, some random thoughts I've had throughout the show, looking at this with eyes to see and ears to hear. And then Loki comes to find out here later in the episode that all the things that he thought were real in his world, all the like the powerful Mind Stones or the Infinity Stones from the movies, from Thanos' Gauntlet, have absolutely no power. They're not real. They weren't actually. It's like weapons of mass destruction. They weren't real. They weren't real. They had actually no bearing of power, and he realizes that. Let's see.
Some of them. Why? Jeez.
What? Infinity Stone?
And of course, they had to put an upside down cross in there, right? Right? They had to put an upside down cross in the drawer, right? Take a peek at it one more time.
What?
So of course they had to put an upside down cross in there, and then you got some more symbolism here. I can't remember what that symbolism, but you've seen it in shields and Freemasonry and all the occult symbolism. The cross, the double cross. Is that a double cross? But you got the upside down cross, and it's symbolic right there that none of this stuff mattered. Most powerful things in the world were an illusion. It's an illusion. The whole world is an illusion. The whole matrix is an illusion. It's an illusion. It means nothing. It means nothing outside of this little BS matrix. None of it means anything. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Hey, Susan. Hey, Silver Surfer. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. We've just been kind of peeking at this Loki show and kind of talking about some of the things that I've been seeing in it. And, everything from the reptilians to shape-shifting to doorways to Loki going on a journey of self-discovery and realizing there are multiple versions of yourself in multiple timelines, and the idea of a multiverse, which is very, very. I mean, you got the Spider-Man multiverse coming out. You got Doctor Strange in the multiverse. I mean, it's everything that you're seeing in television and movies right now is very, very foretelling. With all the shows about viruses and everything and hybrids. You got the show Sweet Tooth on Netflix that we kind of touched on a little bit yesterday, with the hybrids being born, and even Loki has connection to hybrids and mythology, which we'll take a peek at here in just a second. Variants, um, portal doorways. They're just throwing it all in your face, show after show. Yeah, no, internet's been sucking over here too, Jesse. I'm glad you're here. I love you guys. Hit that like button. Join us. The internet has been sucking over here. I don't know if it's just them messing with me or just my internet being dookie. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, so just a few things I saw on the Loki show that I wanted to share tonight before we just kind of chatted and hung out for a little bit and talked about everyone's day and see how everyone's doing. And I did want to let everyone know that I did get a warning and have one of the streams already removed. Just by sharing doctors talking about their medical expertise on certain subjects. So we're not going to do that anymore. I'm just not going to do it. If I come across something on my Twitter and I feel it's going to be anything that is going to speak on that subject, I won't do it. But I'll still do some Twitter share. We'll still get on there and see what people are talking about. And you guys can find some accounts to follow that I follow, which I highly recommend, guys. I mean, I just share other people's great work and great information. I always tell you, go directly to the source. Follow these accounts and see what they're doing. It's amazing. But I'm glad you guys are all here with me. And Speaking of Twitter, we'll go over here, peek and see what's going on. I won't read anything out loud. This is so. This is how stupid it's getting in certain areas. And all these people that are just standing by letting this happen, you're to blame. You're to blame. Your compliance is to blame. But this is literally a COVID checkpoint in London where they are giving a child a ticket. A kid. They gave a kid a ticket. Which, again, you don't have to pay any of these fines. You don't have to pay your taxes. You always do everything voluntarily. You do it based out of a narrative of fear that they've sold you that you have to do this or it will result in this. And you've never stepped up to find out if any of that's true. I haven't paid taxes but like 2 times in my entire life. And I that was very young in life. That was like 16 and 17 before I realized how much of a scam it was. And I'm still here. This is again more attempted censorship. This guy's giving a speech here, and the crowd turns on them and starts saying, "You serve us, you serve us," but that's not true. Okay, they do not serve you guys. Okay, they do not. You've been given the illusion that police and military serve you. They do not serve you. Okay, and you need to look up their guidelines and their regulations and the legislation and all that. They serve the crown. They serve the corporation. They serve the establishment. They protect and serve them. They do not protect and serve you. And the only reason they respond to your calls is there's money that is brought in some way through court fees, court appearances, fines, lawyers, all that, the whole nine. They're not. And I'm not saying there aren't cops that don't sign up and military people, individuals that don't sign up in the idea of helping people. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at the core of their responsibilities, it's not about serving the public. It's not about serving the common man or the common folk. It's just not. I mean, that's just the facts. You can look that up. Yep, here's a friendly reminder that animals are full of love and not hate, and that you don't need to be slaughtering them and eating them. You don't. All species, they just want love. They're willing to get along. They don't need the division and the slaughtering. They just want love. They're friends. They're friends. Yeah, birds that are caged. Stop caging birds. Stop caging birds. I thought this was funny. Get me out of here, you son of a bee. Effing humans, you're all an effing plague to the planet. Well, it might be the virus, right? Either one way or the other, right? Why don't you lock your mother in here? Go F yourself. And they just act like, oh, it's just, because you have no idea what that bird is saying. You have no idea, right? Let the birds free. Let the birds free. Want this tattooed on my forehead, they say. Awakened advisory, conscious content. Yeah, man. For sure. Let's see. There's that word variant again. Variant. Lockdowns aren't going to stop until people stand up and stop them for themselves. They will continue to try and keep you under the thumb of control because, like I said, I believe that they understand that timelines, or this timeline, like the show was saying, they're trying to hold on to this timeline if they can. Or they're trying to wake people up. I mean, it's one or the other, right? They're either really trying to hold on and go towards like NWO status, or it's just a part of the game to wake everyone up. Either way, this part of the cycle keeps going until we stop. We have to take control of our lives, of our responsibility. We have to get away from maritime law, and there's talk about this pole shift of energy going into the sky. The age of the ether returning, the Aquarius air energy, the truth being in the air, the information and knowledge being in the air, and We have to break free of the maritime law. And maritime law, it's all set up and all based off of I can take your wealth from you, I can take your rights from you because you don't have the ability to govern yourself. That's how it's all set up. It's all set up to be like I can get away with taking your property from you or taking your wealth from you because we live under maritime law, and maritime law is set up because it's saying that there are people that just have a level of incompetence that they don't know how to take care of themselves. And it's it's pretty accurate for most people right now that most people don't know how to take care of themselves. Most people don't know how to find food or grow food for themselves. Most people don't know how to get clean water and how to locate it. Most people don't know how to build a shelter for themselves. Most people don't know how to raise their kids properly, teach their kids properly, and groom and raise, proper children. Uh, so there's a lot of truth to that. But this is our opportunity to change that, to take back those rights, those some would call them your birthrights, um, to show the higher realms that we don't need babysitters, we don't need governments, we don't need uh, royal families. We don't need these laws and regulations, and we don't need social credit scores and all these other things. We don't need V passports. We don't need any of that stuff. That we don't buy into racial divisions. We don't buy into war. We don't buy into slaughtering animals. We know how to take care of ourselves. We're not gluttons. We don't overuse. We don't overeat. We don't overconsume. That we know how to create properly in harmony with nature. That we're not destructive. Um, so as it shifts from maritime, which is water, to air, we've got to stand up. Got to stand up. No, he puts a sticker saying experimental on there. That's hilarious. It says it's a V center, and he puts a sticker that says experimental up there. Gotta love that. I think that's great. Yeah, we showed that yesterday. Jesse, oh, we showed that clip yesterday. I might even still have it here somewhere, where the magnets, I mean, again, look, they're messing with your insides, okay? And that's why it's so important to flush. It's so important to cleanse. It's so important to fast. It's so important to get out there and sweat, okay? Um, extremely important. Extremely, extremely important. To make sure that you're not filled with all these prions and metals, mercury, and all this stuff on top of the fluoride and all the other BS they're putting in there. The president admits that the greatest show on earth, and it's entirely scripted. He flat out admits that he has been given a directive on who to call on and who to take questions from, that's showing you that these people are prepared to ask certain questions, that they know they're going to be called on. They've been told what they can ask, what they can't ask. There's no journalism in it anymore. There's no such thing. There's no journalism. It's a prepared Q&A. Why am I not? Is my internet down? Why am I not? Okay, hold on.
Usual, folks, they gave me a list. I'll take your questions, and as usual, folks, they gave me a list of the people I'm going to call on. So, Jonathan, Associated Press.
As usual, they gave me a list of who I'm allowed to call on. Jonathan from the Associated Press will start with you. I mean, that should just show you. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about it being scripted, that you're watching a movie unfold. It's a script, guys. It's a script. It's a scripted show. It's a tragic comedy. Jaleel, welcome back. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. Violent anarchy will come before peaceful anarchy. Yeah, well, look, I mean, there's already been violence. Okay, I can't deny that there's not. Okay, there's been violence going on forever, but I will tell you, when things really change is when the violence stops. When people just literally realize that they don't have to get violent, that they can walk away from it all, that they can ignore it, that they can just start living their lives and not be bought in, not be buying into this, not be putting their energy into it, not be paying taxes towards it, not be giving money to these corporations that do these kind of things. You know, again, stand up and speak with your money. Stand up and speak with your non-compliance. Don't give money to the companies that are continuing to run the narrative and continuing, like I continue to say, speak with your money. Know where your food's coming from. Know where your clothing's coming from. Don't be buying the entertainment. Don't be upgrading all the time to all these BS cell phones. Get the most generic things you can get. Like, you don't need these name brands, these brands that are destroying, the camaraderie between humanity and destroying the planet. Speak with your money. Speak with your money. Here's another proof that animals just want to be loved and they don't want to be your dinner. Yeah, beautiful geese, swan, or whatever you want to call it.
Kathy, that is the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
Called it by name from, 100 yards out? Almost a football field away? Comes flying at it. Because you can communicate with nature. Nature will respond the way you respond to... Nature responds to you the way you respond to nature. If you're coming at nature with fear and destruction, it's going to come at you with a sense of protective fear and, try and destroy you. Like the clip of the bear we showed the other day, sitting at the picnic table just eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the campers. Bear had no problem. Hey, welcome to my forest. Thanks for bringing me a snack. Let me pull up a chair. You know what I'm saying? This beautiful, beautiful geese just coming flapping. Give me some love. Give me a hug. You don't need to slaughter animals. Look at that. Just wants hugs and kisses.
That is the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
It just wants hugs and kisses. That's all. As happy could be. Beautiful. Beautiful. You get what you give. You get what you give. It says, according to a recent study, the Delta variant is associated with approximately double the risk of hospitalization. Right? Here we go. They're just going to keep cycling to BS, right? Keep cycling to BS. That's the lady who was going up against Fox News, where she goes in a little more detail about them pushing narratives.
The narrative. If you don't sense what Fox came at my throat for standing up against censorship.
In my opinion, you failed as a reporter.
From the inside, yes, there's a narrative. Yes, it is unspoken, but if you accidentally step outside the narrative, if you don't sense what that narrative is and go with it, there will be grave consequences for you.
It's not just about the viewers, it's about what our CEO reads. It's about what our GM reads.
My question is very simple. Why are you doing this?
It affects the viewers, that's why I'm doing this. The viewers are being deceived by a carefully crafted narrative in some stories.
I have passed on Bitcoin stories. African American audience, the 5 is probably not going to play. That's a choice I'm making, an editorial choice.
I want out of this narrative news telling. I want out of this corruption. I want to tell true stories without fear of whether it fits the corporate narrative. Fox came at my throat.
Yep.
For
and it happens from within. Change happens from within, not just for ourselves, but with the empire, with the establishment. It'll collapse from within. It'll take more and more doctors resigning, police officers resigning, reporters resigning, standing up. You're not going to vote some new person in that's going to make change. The whole system will collapse, and it'll collapse by people walking away from it until there's nobody left. Until there's nobody left to run their agendas. Police officers, doctor, everyone, they just have to walk away from it. And all we can do is stand strong and not comply. Just don't comply with any of the BS. Said Kumo's nursing home order did cause more deaths. That's coming from the NewYorkPost.com. They weren't going to be able to hide it. This right here is, again, showing species interacting with love and concern for one another because love conquers all. This is footage of a turtle. It looks like they're fighting at first, but you need to watch it all the way through. Turtle just saved a fish's life. Fish was caught in a little hole. It's obviously crying out for help. The turtle allowed it to bite it and nip on it until it could pull the fish out of the hole and then nudge it over back into the stream. Think about it. Just think about what you see in nature. They're not violent. They're not violent, okay? They're not. And I know someone will say, lion, what about a lion eating this and that and the other? They have picked up over generations. Their crops were taken from them. Their food was taken from them. You have no idea what the world would look like if they still had all their forests and they had all their abilities. You have no idea. You just have no idea. I refuse to believe that everything is carnivore. Look at this. This is more people waking up. And again, don't go protesting businesses and rioting local shops and things like that. You want to go take a stand, if you do want to gather in solidarity, then you go to these people's homes and you stand outside. You put the pressure on them. It's just like I was talking about. That's why cops don't police in their own neighborhoods, because the fear of this happening. The fear of some accountability showing up at their doorstep.
Real quick,
It's Kumo's house.
answer the question. Show you're a leader, right? Real quick, leader. And anybody else you want to murder, put them into the gun.
If you're going to gather and you're going to protest, that's the way you do it. Protest the people that are actually doing things, not the innocent business people destroying and all that stuff, all that BS rioting that was going on and still going on in certain areas. Like the looting at San Francisco is still happening. The Walgreens, I'm sure people have seen the clips of the Walgreens. The guy on the bike just grabbing whatever he wants and putting it in the trash bag. Here's proof about the chemical engineering going on in the sky.
One that has gained my personal attention Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other.
It's no conspiracy. But those are contrails, right? Those are contrails. Those are just natural things that they're no, because they can't hide. They can't hide anymore what they've been doing and what they're doing. There's no more hiding it anymore. It's just all in your face these days. Everything is now out on the table, and all of us that were conspiracy theorists, a year, 2 years ago, that were laughed at and mocked at. Where's our apology, huh? You can read that for yourself at any time. Go grow in silence, grow quietly. You don't have to try and wake everyone up. You don't have to try and bring people on your journey, okay? You can, like I said, you can have a platform, you can make some content. It'll be available for people to find when it's their time. But sitting on Twitter all day long trying to tweet at people or trying to get in threads and trying to get in people's comment sections on YouTube videos and trying to do that and then being frustrated that you're not getting anywhere, you're not getting more followers, or you're not getting more likes, or you're not getting any of that, is you're killing yourself on the inside. You're deplenishing your aura. And I left a chat group today on Twitter that it just seemed like they were just not on the same path as I was. We have interest in the same subjects, but we're just not on the same path or direction. Am I going to sit there and try and argue with them and change them? No. I'm going to continue on my path. I'm going to continue moving forward, doing what I need to do for me, because a lot of these people are still stuck in their head, and they're still stuck in trying to figure out everything mentally, and they're not tuning into their heart. They're ignoring their heart. They're acting like the heart doesn't matter still. Arguing things like veganism and stuff to me is like that. You're stuck in your head. You're not looking at the data. I don't need to look at data coming from the same people that have manipulated data, the same people who have lied about the cosmology of our planet or lied about these things that are going on in the world right now. These are the same trust the science people. Trust the science. Do you know who you sound like? You sound like a QAnoner. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. I will trust myself. I will trust myself. Okay? And I will be honest with myself. So, you don't try and change people. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with you. When I realize we're at that opposite of, what I feel are like deal breakers for the conversations, I walk away from it. I walk away from it. Hey, I don't need to be a part of this chat anymore. I don't need to be a part of this interaction. I'm going to do what's right for me. I'm going to do what I know is right, because I don't want to have to reincarnate here and do it all again. I'm done with the world of duality. I'm done with this game board. This game board will never change. See, people keep thinking that you're going to change this game board. Well, if you believe in the EMCO and the reset, that means it gets reset and it starts all over again. Okay, that this world of duality is this world of duality. And the way you get away from it is you ascend past it. You go through another doorway. You get to go to another realm, another world. You get to go play at a different game board. You get to go from, Clue to Monopoly, or from Monopoly to, Chutes and Ladders. And I'm on Chutes and Ladders, baby. I'm getting out. I'm shooting for some ladders. I'm climbing like Truman. The Truman Show. I'm leaving this. I'm leaving it behind. I'm going somewhere more magical, majestic. Okay? And I'm not saying it's not on the same earthly plane in another fractal spectrum of dimension, or if it's in another galaxy far, far away like Superman. I don't know, and I don't care. I just know it exists. It's one of those things that you just know, and you don't have to have the facts to know. You just know, without seeing. You can just feel it. You feel it. You can't see your emotions, but you know that they're real. I have my hand behind my back, and I'm moving my fingers right now. I can't see it happening, but I know it's happening right now because I feel it. I know inside of me. I know what's going on. Okay, and that's where you got to go within. These people are still, trying to, figure out all the scientific ways that this catastrophic event is going to go down, and they're acting at a stage of fear, and then they're trying to fear other people. We need to get prepared. We need to get prepared. We need to get to the mountain. We need to find the 33rd parallel. We need to do this. We need to do that. You're not actually doing anything to do it because you'd be gone already. If you really thought it was that imminent and that important, you would be packing your bag right now and you would be gone. You would stop trying to grab other people because that's not their responsibility to babysit you along the trip. Get your ass to wherever you feel you need to be and start growing some food. Start building a shelter. Start mapping your land. Stop sitting on a computer trying to find the answers. Go within. Find it within. And then go do whatever it is that you need to do. And stop trying to bring other people on your path, your journey, because it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Okay? You gotta start trusting in something more than what you can see with your eyes, or you're going to continue to live in the Matrix illusion. They'll just drop another psyop on you. They'll drop another illusion right on your head. And you won't know what to do until it's too late. And then you'll be scrambling when the sky's falling. And you'll be wondering, well, where'd half the population go? They just disappeared. Poof, gone. Even if the bodies drop on the ground. Like I said, the bodies are made for this realm. They're made, these bodies are why you think astronauts have to have those suits, whether you believe space is real or not. The idea is that you can't survive in this form, just natural, outside of the biosphere, outside of the electromagnetic protected biosphere, or the ice dome, or whatever it is, whatever cosmology setup you believe in. This flesh is of this world. It is a biological suit for this world. It is not for other worlds. Okay? At least that's what we've been told. When it comes to the greater realms, the greater worlds, the more majestic worlds, that the flesh is not of the heavenly realms. Okay? It's just not. Here's the clip again.
A second ago, and I came in the kitchen and I was like, well, shit, let me try it. And I've been putting them.
This one's for Jesse. This is showing the magnet sticking to the chicken and all the prions that are in your meat. And again, it's not just in your meats, guys. It's not just in your meats. This stuff is in your deodorants, your soaps, your shampoos and conditioners. It's in your makeups. Ladies, if you're wearing makeups, oh my God, look on the back and look at the metals. It's in the sky that they're spraying. It's everywhere. And it's funny how they want to make everything cooler, right? And dim. And they don't want you at gyms or anything, right? They don't want you working out. It's like they don't want you to sweat. Like, they don't want you to sweat at all, right? They don't want you to release these things. They want these things to stay inside of you. That's why flushing and sweating and getting some exercise and getting out there in that sun and getting some heat, these are good things for you. They're good things.
Hanging all over our meat. And the hamburger meat didn't do it, but the chicken meat definitely did it. I wiped it off with a paper towel. Look, here's a brand new paper towel. Wiping everything off. Right? Chicken juice is dropping out of there. Nothing fake. Look, it's all wiped off. Right? Inverted, vertical. Okay, look. I'll even put it halfway on the label. It's a little less right through the paper. And again, they're just putting little prions in here. But it's enough to get to our brain to affect us. So.
And prions. Let's look up prions, because I thought I saw something interesting about prions. Maybe it was on Twitter. Let me go back. See, a lot of people are talking about. It says, in all the animal models, the animals died, mice, ferrets, and monkeys. This is also why I mentioned neurological issues as a risk due to prions and crossing the blood-brain barrier. Seems like me they want to shut that pineal gland down. The clinical trials even show the spike of protein in a toxin. All very interesting stuff.
Now to an NBC 10 Boston exclusive. Dramatic moments here caught on camera as that pickup truck slams into the back of a boat. Two people barely getting out of the way before it happens. It's a story you'll only see right here on NBC 10 Boston. NBC 10's Brian Burnell live in Lynn with the exclusive details. Wild story here, Brian.
Yeah, and it's video that just takes your breath away, in part because it was captured by two high-definition surveillance camera, two different angles on the action. And, well, let's just throw this in. The COVID vaccine may be a factor.
The video is startling. Two men barely escaping as a pickup smashes into a boat on a trailer attached to a truck in front of Top Shop Automotive and Marine in Lynn. One of them is the owner, Ken Broussard, who never moved faster in his life. The truck first hits an SUV parked maybe 30 feet away. That may have saved Ken's life. He says it's.
He said the naughty word. I don't want to stay too long. He said the naughty word. Yeah. So take what you want from it. Look into prions. Looking into the effect of prions within the body, within the brain, and yeah, I mean, it's going to get dangerous out there. For accidents occurring. People turning into zombies, losing cognitive functioning. I definitely would want to be as consciously as aware as I can right now, clear-headed. If I'm out and about, I want, but and if you are, you're protected by your higher self. It's like how you can walk and not step in a pile of poop, or not fall in a pothole or something like that, or not, like you just happen to look down and you're like, whoa, like how did I know to just look down at this moment and sidestep this whatever, this crack in the ground or this rock or this nail or whatever. Like It's happened to all of us where you're literally just walking around. You're just walking around, or like, how did I avoid that accident? Like, if you're in tune, you're in tune, and your higher self, your supernatural self has got you. So I'm not saying, be in fear to go out there and live your life. No, I'm for those who are not in tune, there's going to be some accidents. There's going to be some chaos. There's going to be some destruction, as Jaleel was saying a little while ago. Yeah, and I'm sure there were other clips of magnets on meat. Oops.
You booked a spacious Vrbo summer home with a pool big enough for the most epic cannonballs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got magnets here. Magnets are sticking to the steak. So I'm putting this plastic on this time. I'm going to do it raw here in a second, but this is plastic. It has spots where the gristle's at. It's where it's sticking. The gristle areas where it's most prevalent. It's sticking right to the steak.
To the fat. Right? That's why you want to be lean. You want to be lean and healthy on the inside. You don't want all that fat. You don't want all that stuff that's not supposed to be there. That the body is having a hard time of getting away. Okay.
All over steak. So I'm actually having. Okay. Now let's take off the plastic. So could the plastic be holding onto it? I doubt it. But I'm going to dry this off my pants here real quick. Take the raw steak out. So I got a raw steak here like this, and see if it does the same thing. There it is again, see, it's sticking to the steak. And there's different spots that's worse. Look at that. Raw steak sticking right to it. See there? So all over steak is sticking to it. Let's do it again. See if it keeps doing it. It's sticking right to it. There it is.
I notice he's got shungite beads right there. He knows what's going on. He's got his beads on, protecting from the 5G frequencies.
Now, sticking all over the steak, now what I do is like, there we go. It's definitely got a magnetic pull to it. So it's definitely got a magnetic pull. I can feel it pulling. I actually can feel it pulling toward it. So it doesn't make it's not like it's just sticking because it's moisture. It's sticking because it's a pull. I'm actually doing this with a pull. So what I did this was, earlier I was playing around with the magnets, and I just took my stomach, and I was putting the magnet on my stomach. Sorry there, I'm not lean right now, but on my stomach, and I was doing that, I could feel my stomach going toward the magnet. That's kind of why I was trying this out, and it's actually pulling toward the magnet. I can feel my whole lining. I've had problems with Lyme disease, and it seemed like the Lyme was more attracted to the EMFs. So I started playing with this magnet and putting it on my stomach. I don't feel I'm laying on my back. I only feel I'm standing up. It actually pulls toward it. It pulls toward the magnet. It's like my whole entire.
Recommend you guys go get some magnets and check yourself out. Might want to check out and see if you got some things going down. Here's another one.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to put out this short little video, and I apologize for the quality. All my camera and editing stuff is all put away right now, so it's a little bit poor quality. But
magnet to their store-bought chicken, so I thought I'd come right into my kitchen and give it a try. So I have Kirkwood all-natural chicken breast tenderloins from Aldi, ALDI. That's where I do my shopping. I think it's a sister company of Trader Joe's. So I'm just wiping off the chicken to make sure the moisture doesn't make the magnet stick. Okay.
Aldi is very, very cheap food, and I'm not knocking people who try and save money, but there is a saying, you pay for what you get in this world. And that's why organic food is more expensive and healthier food is more expensive, or you get better product when you pay. Not in every scenario, not a lot of scenarios you pay for the brand name. But if you know what you're buying, then And why would you mess with your food? Why would you try and save money on your food? Again, it's because people overconsume. They eat too much. They buy too much. They don't shop properly. They're not growing their own foods. There's so much that goes into that. And I'm not knocking these people for shopping at Aldi. I'm not. What I'm saying is it's not. It shouldn't even be a thing to where you have to worry about budgeting for your food. Aldi is, to all my knowledge of Aldi, it is very generic products and like brand C, not brand B or A, but like brand C and D products.
Magnet sticks to the fridge. Okay. Wipe it off again, just to be sure. Magnet.
This mofo's in the store. He's like, I ain't even buying it. He's like, I'll just go to the store and do it. He took his magnet to the store. Might have even pulled the magnet off his shelf somewhere. This fool's in the store. This isn't even at home. He's at the grocery store.
Okay, so supposedly naturally raised. Lifting it, shaking it, lifting it.
Here's a refrigerator magnet. You see? Okay.
Yeah, that food. Look at it. That's not red. Even for meat, that's not a good looking piece of meat.
Sticks to the meat. And you can feel like a magnetic.
Yeah, you can see. I can see it. I can see it like pull it towards it. Like no question.
There's something definitely going on in the meat there.
Yeah.
There we go.
No question.
See if it works on me. Does it stick to me? Nope. Try it again. Nope. Here's a refrigerator.
All right, we already saw him. Go vegan.
Shit out of me. So I'm doing everything I can to stay away from that shot. But I think I figured out how they're doing it.
You know, and some came to my attention earlier in the video where they were talking about natural, the word natural and caged free. Those are all BS marketing terms. See if I can find that. There's a video where a marketing professional is given a seminar where she lays it all out to people, explaining how they use these words to trick you into thinking that your food is healthier or better for you, or Okay, here you go.
I'm going to give you some of the secrets about how we make you buy what we want you to buy. So as a marketer, when I'm first giving you a product, what's my job? Well, my job is to make you want it, to crave it, to need it, to think that it is the best innovation in food since sliced bread. But how do we do it? Well, I'm going to give you a really big example later that I'm going to break right down for you. But let's just start by looking at a few fun little things. So here we have Shreddies, an old favourite, been around for years, very popular in the UK and Canada. Without changing a single little thing about that product, they remarketed them and rebranded them as brand new diamond-shaped Shreddies. Food marketing genius right there. In the 1950s, there was a very...
Why is that funny? Because it was a square that they literally just turned to make it look like a diamond. They didn't change anything about the actual product, but the sales went up. Idiots.
Important innovation in food. The instant mix cake, one of my personal favourites. When they were first brought out, all you needed to do was to add a little bit of water. Who's not going to love that? Well, actually, no one loved it. No one bought the bloody things. So they did a bit of research. And what they found was that the main consumer, the target consumer, the housewife, felt that it was cheating. They didn't want to pass off such an easy thing as their own baking to their partners, their husbands, their families, whatever. So what did the producers have to do? They had to make it harder. So now you had to add water and an egg. And sales exploded. But these examples, these are just chicken feed compared to what I really want to talk about tonight, and that is chickens and pigs and cows. So when we think about where chickens, etc. come from, we think about something a bit like that. That's sort of our instinctive idea, but we all know if we really think about it, if we think about it deeply, it's probably a little bit more like that. But that's a lot nicer. It's a lot more romantic. So how do we give you this impression? Well, there are 3 techniques that we use. The third of which is our secret weapon, and I am going to blow it for you tonight, so please stay primed for that. Let's look at technique number 1. Everybody believes what's on the label. So let's look at some examples. Some of my favourites, some of the ones I use all the time. I'll use Farm Fresh. I'll use 100% natural. I'll use Butcher's Choice. But what does that really actually mean? Well, truthfully, it doesn't mean very much. If we see that on the label, we feel a bit more confident. But let's have a look at what a farm really looks like. It probably looks like that. Now, this is a concentrated animal feeding operation. I'm going to run that past you again. It's a concentrated animal feeding operation. That's not going to look great on a label. Hence, we use Farm Fresh. Innovation number 2. This is what we use. We focus on progress. Intensive farming was born out of necessity. At the end of the Second World War, resources were extremely tight. Farming had to be by necessity very, very economical. And we've learnt from that, and we've built from that, and we're able to now raise more and more animals in smaller and smaller spaces. So we've got extremely good at it. If we looked at a room of about this size, and this were turned into a chicken barn, it's a 100-seat theatre, how many chickens could we probably fit in this room now? I'm going to say about 4,000. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? It'd probably look a little bit like that. Now, the public aren't going to be massively keen on that idea, and it's my job to make them feel a little bit better about it. So how do I do it? Well, a basic principle of marketing. We use the right choice of words, and by using the right choice of words, we can make the conversation, we can focus the conversation the way we want it to. So we'll use an example like this. When you look at that picture, where is your eye drawn? It's drawn right to the middle of the page, massive letters, we've got strive to optimise. What we're looking at in the picture, in reverse, looks a bit like that, but this looks a lot nicer, because we're looking at strive to optimise. It makes us feel that there's progress. We feel good. So the challenge for the marketers is to make the public feel comfortable about what they're seeing. One of the side effects of intensive farming, of having so many animals in such a small space, unfortunately, is obviously disease, because you put so many animals into a small space, they're going to get sick. It is no secret that 50% of all the antibiotics in the world are used on farmed animals. So how do we make the public feel okay with this? How does that happen? My job. How do I do it? I use the language of innovation. So we're going back to our old friends at porkcares.org. And what they do is they say, as farming has become more efficient, veterinarians have incorporated new technologies and methods into practice. This makes us feel good. This is positive. Yeah? This is progress. And when we're then marketing to future consumers, we would perhaps use something like this. This is a colouring book. Pigs and pork. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what we're doing here is we're getting the children to focus on the fact that we're using innovation. So by bringing the pigs out from the muddy fields and into the clean barns, we're taking them away from all that nasty, dirty mud and all the diseases that are lurking there within. Positive. So onto our secret weapon. This is what we really need to focus on. So these two techniques alone, they are not going to work. We need a secret weapon, number 3. It is actually in this room right now. Secret weapon! It is you! So how do we do it? When you're in the supermarket, you don't want to think about where those products have come from. You don't want to think about how those animals have been reared, how they've been treated. The power of willful ignorance cannot be overstated. This is systemised cruelty on a massive scale, and we only get away with it because everyone is prepared to look the other way. Thank you.
Boom! And that is why you meat eaters continue to eat meat, because you don't have to deal with slaughtering the animals yourself. You don't have to deal with going to the farms and seeing it. It's all done behind closed doors, just like dirty politicians doing all their dirty deeds behind closed doors. Your willful ignorance allows you to say, it tastes good. Well, a crackhead says, this makes me feel good, but is it good for you? Take that data to your bank, put it in your pipe, and smoke it. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you for watching that clip. Sorry if it made anyone uncomfortable. But you know what? I don't. Dick Benson, thank you for the follow on Facebook. If you're watching, we love you. Appreciate you hitting that follow. We're very grateful for that. I don't alert anyone because I don't want people to turn away. They need to see it for their eyes. I know a lot of us are already vegan in here or on that path to bettering ourselves. So I do apologize if it made you squirmy, any of the footage or the clips. But people need to see it. They need to see it with their own eyes. And they need to hear from the marketing specialist themselves on why they continue to get away with it. And she told you it's systematic cruelty. And the only reason we get away with it is because of your willful ignorance. Okay? It's not that hard. Not that hard to understand in your heart that these animals have a right to live and be happy with their children and love with other species and cuddle up and snuggle and snoodle and cadoodle and run free and have forest and have meadows and have flowers to eat and all the wonderful things that they want to nibble on. It's all a scam. I don't care if you think you're eating farm fresh or caged free or, cruelty free. There's no such thing as cruelty free. You're killing an animal. There's no such thing. No such thing. But you can, this matrix gets you to just lie to yourself or look the other way. Well, this is the Great Awakening. There's no more looking the other way. You're going to be forced to look at these things in this world for what they are. Politicians, medical industries, police officers, schooling systems, farming industry, everything. Everything. And you don't just get to blame Monsanto anymore. It's all of it. All of it is going to be looked at. And some people will continue. Like I said, not everyone's going to your future. Not everyone's going to survive, as Madonna, so eloquently put in with the show with masks and the whole nine. I mean, very, very ominous and symbolic. And not everyone's going to the same place. And that doesn't mean there's just heaven or hell. And, I'm saying that there's a lot of different opportunities about to present themselves. Okay? A lot of different doorways, a lot of different timelines, realities, dimensions, worlds, whatever you want to call it. Some people will get there through death. Some people will literally walk through a Stargate. Some people will get picked up on a UFO ship. And I'm a believer in flat Earth, in the cosmology. Okay, I think it's a far more fair representation than a spinning globe ball. But I do not believe that there's no such thing as space travel. Okay, I still believe. I don't believe that everything is the kind of water above that you see down here. That water. I believe it's different. And who's to say you got submarines? Right? You got submarines. Submarines travel through water. So why can't there be actual, anti-gravity craft that can travel through water? Even if you think it's water above. You got submarines, don't you? You got submarines. Okay, so for all the people who say you can't travel above the firmament because there's freaking water, what is a submarine? What about the underground or underwater yachts now? Underwater yachts. We having some buffering issues. Yeah, my internet is trash. My internet is trash. I'm sorry, guys. It's just trash. I just don't have good internet. So on that note, maybe I'll wrap it up. We're about at the hour and a half mark here. If there's not any questions or anything, we'll take a final peek at the old Twitter and see if anything crazy has happened while we've been on. I'll just take a peek. We never go to Facebook. Let's take a peek at Facebook. Let's see. Make sure you're hitting them like and love buttons, guys. No matter the platform you're on. I'm grateful for all of you guys. Oh, let's see there. Let's go over to my page. It's pretty fair. Well, those are some beautiful pics. We'll do a little timeline cleanse here. We'll look at a little nice beauty before we wrap it up. You see him buffering, guys? I'm sorry about that. Oh, good for him. Yep, most people can't see clearly because they have the world's lies covering their eyes. Take those contact lenses off. Put on your new set of glasses. That's a little funny. Every other company, Black Lives Matter, Listerine, stay white. That's kind of funny. Self-control is strength. Calmness is mastery. You have to get to a point where your mood doesn't shift based on the insignificant actions of someone else. Don't allow others to control the direction of your life. Don't allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. Okay? It goes with everything I'm saying about, trying to force other people to come your path and your direction. I don't care if you're into, like I said, the EMCO, the plasma event. I don't care if you're into Christianity and the rapture. I don't care if you're into, Nibiru and Anunaki. Your understanding of what's coming or what you think is coming is yours, and you can share it in a way to where you present it and it's out there, and you're not trying to pull people along because you're wasting your energy. You're wasting your time to prepare yourself for whatever you truly do believe is coming. And nobody has it all figured out, okay? Because not everyone's going the same path. Not everyone's going the same direction. So spend your energy working on you. and balancing your emotions with your intelligence, your ego and your emotion, if you will. Here, there's another one. Who called you a bad dog? Point them out. I will end them. Look, I mean, just love. It's just love. That's all it is. Love is what we need. Love is what we need, people. Love them. Beautiful. I miss my pup. I miss my pup so much. Look at the mini horse. Love it. Look at that beautiful sacred geometry. Look at the beauty. Look at the time and the effort. And oh, who knows if it took any more time or less time than the things that we build today. But it's obvious that we descended in intelligence and we're starting to ascend again. It's obvious that our past history was greater than the sum of what we are told and what we've done over the last 100 years. This is how you treat nature. You respect it. You come to a halt. You allow it to exist. Mama bear going and getting all the bears to cross the street. Look. It's so cute.
Say, come on, see what I'm doing? Follow me. Here they come. Two of them. There's the other, oops, there's three. There's the fourth one.
We got a good seat for the show.
Oh, she gets pissed.
Like, wait a second, don't forget about me! There's always one that's like, wait a second, what's up here? You guys are all going that way, I'm going up, that's me. Like, everyone, that's totally me. Like, you guys are all going to cross that street over there, I'm going up. Like, hey, I want to know what's up here. I'm heading this way.
They follow her back. Go, babies, go! Go, babies!
It's like every mom in the grocery store or trying to get all the kids organized to leave.